It's What the Flick, everybody. True Detective, Episode 7, the penultimate episode, Black Maps and Motel Rooms. Ben Mankiewicz, Michelle Boley, and Alonso Duralde. Welcome, everybody. So I saw two real quick, so I might mix them up a little bit. I apologize for that. You know, we fought hard in the beginning of this when we started recapping Season 2 of True Detective because we opened with just Colin Farrell, Rachel McAdams, and Vince Vaughn, and we were like, you know, we got to put Taylor Kitsch in. Well, we could take him out.
Well, I don't know. We thought Colin Farrell might have died earlier on.
Oh, he did.
You know.
I think he's dead. I think this one counts as a death. So, I didn't really like Episode 6. I mean, it was exciting, I guess, and there were some dramatic moments. But I thought there was a couple of cop-outs. I won't dwell on this episode. I thought it was a cop-out the way she got out of the orgy. I thought it was a cop-out. I thought she was sort of committed to sex, to that kind of sex, which we know that she has enjoyed would be wrong, but relied on, right? And I thought maybe this would be the moment where she realizes this is awful, but she would have to do it. And instead, it just became kind of a movie where they get the heroine out of a bad situation in a way that I did not find realistic. And what do you know? They're listening in right as the contracts are being signed. So, and a terrible Vince Vaughn conversation with Colin Farrell. But then, this episode was better.
I would say there's enough awful stuff in this episode to parse.
Yeah.
We don't need to dwell on how bad last week was.
So maybe it wasn't better. Maybe it wasn't better. We finally got Colin Farrell and Rachel McAdams together, though, which was sort of inevitable, I guess.
Yeah, but by the time we get them together, I kind of feel like, no, like you guys both need intense therapy before you have sex with anyone else ever.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Exactly. Like if it had happened earlier, before all this stuff with the wife and before
the flashbacks,
the flashbacks and the creepy, and she'd already tried and it was like shut down. It's like, man, you just picked the worst time.
I'll tell you what I liked about this episode. I liked Vince Vaughn finally sort of turning loose a little of the evil that we saw a brief little glimpse of, I think maybe in Episode 2, with the sort of pretending to be the Good Samaritan after he had his guys beat that guy up. So the way he tortured the Blake, the guy who betrayed him, like that, and then shooting him in the belly so he could slow die.
And then having his wife come in to see it.
And then having his wife come in. Like I knew as soon as she said, I'll go get it, and I was like, no, he's gonna bring her into this. So
totally.
That was sort of a little bit of what I'd sort of been
cocktail
waiting for.
glass to the face reminds me of the guy in the Long Goodbye with the Coke bottle.
Oh, nice. Right. Good call. Yeah.
But it drives me nuts when a show like this culminates in finding out that it all comes down to a character whose name you never bothered to learn because he was always sort of the fourth person in any scene.
Like, was that Holloway or Burris?
That's Burris. That's Burris.
Oh, I thought it was
I had
Holloway.
to look it up.
I didn't know who it was. I knew.
I knew it was James Frain. I know that actor from other stuff, but you know.
When on the phone, when the hooker who got killed by the Mexicans, oh, by the way, hey, finally a Mexican standoff with Mexicans. I give him credit. That was a nice line. It was a nice moment. And my cousin gets referenced in it. When Vince Vaughn is talking and he says, it was Johnny Mank and was gonna. You were just. I wrote it down. Hang on, bear with me. It's good. I have it right here. Some hold music, please. Johnny Mank wanted to cap you in the alley when he's talking to Blake, and Blake's lying on the ground, and he's like, Johnny, you remember back I saved you when Johnny Mank wanted to cap you in the alley. Molly Mankiewicz, my cousin, who was Nick Pizzolato's. Worked with Nick Pizzolato on the first season. She's not working on season 2.
Let's be very clear about that.
But John Mankiewicz is her father, the House of Cards writer, and so there was a little. I was like, oh, a little Johnny Mank. It's fantastic.
So I actually know her. Like I've gone. She's like friends with my friends.
You know Molly Mankiewicz?
Yeah.
She's lovely.
We've hung. She's
Welcome to
lovely.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. There's a really great thing in this episode with when Taylor Kitsch tells his mom and fake fiance to just order room service. There's no way that motel is room service.
Yeah, no, that's getting a bag from the burger place down the street.
Room service. Yeah.
Well, and how about the fact that apparently now Blackwater works for this like local LA government, like is involved in this local scandal, and they kind of justify it with one line. Where they say, oh, yeah, they're now working all for this private company. That's kind of your one line.
It was. Although I suppose if we're to believe, though, that organization sort of this corrupt with this much money at stake and this willing to be this evil, which I'm prepared to believe,
Sure.
especially in this sort of unincorporated wasteland of a place where no one lives, then I imagine that those people would hire the best security that existed. So,
But wouldn't you spend some time setting that up in this
No,
story
sure.
earlier? Like a couple beats, just a couple beats.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
there is the AV Club referred to the info dumpiest of all info dumps. That scene where they're in the hotel talking about the diamonds and the this, and I'm like, wait, stop, what?
Yeah.
Like you've been jerking us around for like 5 episodes, and now you're just gonna like no, I need a graph and some like pictures with yarn. Like give me some fucking Carrie bullshit from Homeland because I have no idea what's going on.
I've already incorporated what it never used to work for me, but maybe as I've gotten older, it does. I did it, and I mentioned it during our review of Terminator Genesis. Is that the last one? Where I saw it with my wife, and I just thought 25 minutes into the movie, she's like, "What? Wait a minute. Why are they going here?" And I was like, "Let's just presume that they know what they're doing, right? Let's not trouble ourselves, and I think we'll enjoy the next hour." And so during that scene, I was like, "Okay, fine." Oh, fine. She's like, "Yeah," as we talked about. So of course, and they're saying things like they're making these instant logical leaps.
Yeah.
So obviously Casper was killed because. And I'm, okay, all right, sure, okay, that's why it was. You say so? Great, got it. Moving on. Not gonna pain myself over this.
As Bibbs would say, because reasons. You know?
Right.
Yeah, so all that happens, and then so we finally build up to the 2 people in the world who shouldn't be having sex with each other having sex with each other, and poor Taylor Kitsch like having his ex-boyfriend telling him, "Oh well, you know, if you'd been out of the closet, none of this would be going on." It's like, well, this is not an it gets better moment. I'm sorry, that's really not going to be encouraging for people.
Also, what do you mean none of this would have happened? I'd still be in a dungeon with you guys. I just would have had to been lured here another way.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
you still would have
exactly.
wanted the information from me. You just wouldn't be able to blackmail me about this specific thing. You're still hideous, murdering criminals.
Exactly.
And they're still
Let's
gonna
not drag
kill him.
gay into
There's
this.
something- yeah.
You know, and then after all that, he gets shot by again. Like, who is James Frain even playing? I had to look it up. He's Burris. Okay, Burris is the mastermind of this whole
Who's
thing.
Holloway?
I don't even know.
Right, that's the crazy thing is that I thought that I really did. I'm amazed. I thought that was Holloway. He got in the passenger seat, so I guess Holloway's driving. But when
Is Holloway the black guy?
I guess Holloway's and the black guy was the one in uniform.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, he's Holloway.
Well,
Okay.
now I know. Good.
Right,
The
Holloway.
show needs to
now.
come with footnotes.
Right.
Jesus.
Okay, so Holloway wasn't driving, so somebody else is driving. So it's Holloway, Burris, and a driver.
Yeah. Now, and are we supposed to think that the revelation that Osip was behind everything is like shocking? Because this is that classic, you know, the Ebert rule about, you know, the seemingly extraneous character. Like there was nobody else left who
Right,
could be
that's
the
right.
one who was stabbing Frank in the back and undermining everything. Of course it was Osip. Why would they spend all that time introducing him beforehand if he wasn't going to be the guy who was actually, you know, pulling all the strings?
Are there 2 things happening here, plot-wise, that they're putting together? I can't even, like those guys murdered Casper to protect the diamond robbery, and Osip is taking over the land because he's taking over the land.
yeah,
They're actually not related. Holloway and Burris.
Osip doesn't even know about the diamonds. Osip is just he's just moving in on that
And so
territory
when
with the
Blake
drugs
said,
and the women.
when Blake said, "Yeah, nobody knows why Casper was killed," that's because he was killed for another reason.
For another reason.
But and they connected over the girls.
Is that what the 90-minute finale is going to be?
Oh, it's 90?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently. They did nothing in the first few episodes, so now they need 90 to
To
catch up.
explain everything.
And in the realm of what they've set up, the likelihood that after she knifes a security guard at the most illegal and politically charged party ever, that they are going to put out an APB for her?
Yeah, they're going to press charges.
They're
Like
gonna press
they
charges?
want that discussed
That
in
guard
public?
is getting buried, and they say, "I don't know, he left, man."
Yeah,
like if
quick
anybody.
lime.
Yeah, I mean, right. There's inconceivable. They're constantly eliminating people. They're gonna. I mean, then she's gonna go. Yeah, okay. Here. By the way, the attorney general was at this party. Who's running for governor with the incredibly well-funded campaign.
Signing contracts and banging Eastern European women who'd had plastic surgery.
They might go. They might have recognized her, go after her, and kill her. I
Sure.
get that part. They
Definitely.
would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, they're not putting their APB on her. Oh, really, you want that case to go to court? I don't think so.
And I mean, I will at least buy the fact that they would kill the woman who was the only person who knew that the 3 of them were actually like, you know,
Who?
again names.
Oh, Rulfo.
The woman in the car, the woman who's dead in the car.
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah.
Yes, who was the one
from The
woman
Wire.
who knew that all three of those folks were actually still
Sure.
working for the state and investigating this case.
So don't you figure now that because he made this deal for the clubs, although that maybe because Vince Vaughn needs guys, so maybe the Mexicans are gonna.
No, Vince Vaughn wants the hell out of there. I think
Yeah.
after he blew up the casino
He's
and
burning that shit
he's getting the fake passports, he and the wife are getting
Oh
the
no, I
hell out
got
of
it.
Dodge.
Oh, well, let's
He's
first.
gonna
Although, I
heist
don't know-
that money.
Although
and
I
then he's gonna
think
get
the
out.
wife is going to turn out to be also not on his side, but who knows?
I don't think so. I think she's with him. I think that's our stable relationship. Oddly, I thought maybe he'd have the Mexicans at least on the warpath for him to protect this. Like now because they made this deal, and now now all of a sudden they have to deal with a new boss.
Well, I mean, he seems to be sort of warning everybody from drunky mayor in the bar to the
other-
bakery dudes. Like, look, these guys are coming. They're coming hard. You either face off with them or leave.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. But just so you know, this is what's about to happen.
So is it a mistake then to continue on his departure? Is it a mistake to have? Is it coincidence? You tell me. So he bought tickets to Venezuela where there's no extradition, right? From Portland, right? And her sister and father went to Eugene. Like that
Right.
seems. But they can't. Those two events, no one can possibly know.
Maybe he just thinks if you go to Oregon, no one will find you.
Exactly.
That's just
Nothing
the only place
happens
he
in
thinks
Oregon.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, of course, we also have to figure out, like, can we even trust Annie's former partner, like, who's escorting them up there? Like,
Yeah,
is
because he gave a nice line, the hug line. That means he's okay.
I hope
I
so.
think they
I
were
don't know.
indicating it, but yeah.
Also, there's no
at the same time.
indication of anything in Ventura. Like, there's no Ventura sheriff's corruption. They're going after her, but I don't think we think. So I think he's
Right.
probably good.
That's true, yeah. I mean, because Vinci's not in Ventura County, right?
No, Vinci's in L.A. County.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I think I think they're probably, that guy's probably okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Or his partner, who we've never met, is going to shoot them. His new partner, right? Yeah.
There are tentacles everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, and
go ahead.
the rape scene, the flashback to the guy's face. What was that? Why did we spend so much time? I mean, we get that it happened, and I
Right.
get that it's important to who she is as a character, but that conversation with her dad about the guy's face,
Yeah,
where
that-
they never really said whose face it was, but we talked about the fact that she suddenly remembered.
There was a document dump there too, because like it's a conversation that like they're redoing a conversation that we're supposed to believe I guess they've already had, but it didn't sound authentic. And also, if we're supposed to believe that the father was that troubled by it, look, no matter what I do, if the thing I do, and it's a choice like being a life of cultum or whatever that
Right.
is, I can't even say the name, Peripanides, the Peripatian, where I work with guys like Rick Springfield, and then my daughter is sexually assaulted because of it, or as part of the transient world that I encourage, I'm out. I'm getting out of that world.
Did he know that she'd been sexually assaulted, or was the I remember his face really about I remember that I got raped as a small child and you're just now hearing
I
about it
think-
for the first
I
time?
think
he
it
knew.
implied he knew. And it kept making me wonder because earlier when they saw the photos, it was like these people are connected. Is this guy going to be involved in this story?
Yeah,
It made me wonder that.
right. Because the guy is in the photo.
Yeah, well,
With Rick
earlier when
Springfield?
there were people in the photo, they were a part of the case.
But was that guy in the photo?
I don't think
I
so.
can't
But
remember.
who
That would
knows?
be- the
He
face
may
that would be-
well. Who knows?
That would be a little much, and it took, I guess, Molly Listerine to. Were they? That was weird too. They looked what she was taking because it looked like those were clearly Viagra. Little blue pills are a universally accepted movie message.
Okay,
of
well,
Viagra.
maybe
Or that
when
could
women
be the
take
Molly.
Viagra, that is a
Yeah, that
thing? I don't know.
Yeah, all right, maybe that's what I'm looking for.
Molly certainly comes in pill form.
Yeah,
So I don't it's like what, but then I still don't understand what she was throwing up if it wasn't. I don't understand.
I
You
think
don't
she was
throw up a
throwing-
spray.
That's
If
true.
someone sprays in your mouth, it's not going to make you better.
Right, I assume.
you-
Yeah, but the pill was there too. I presume we took. It was unclear.
It was-
one of many unclear.
I did kind of like the idea of the rescued woman who didn't want to be rescued.
That was nice. That was nice. I mean, I hated the rescuing of her, but then I liked her. Like, I was making bank. I was
Yeah.
fine. I wasn't going to betray these guys like frickin' Tasha.
Don't take me back to my sister. She's a loon. you know.
Right.
yeah.
Right. So that was that was okay. That was
Yeah.
nice. And I like, in a sense, that Taylor Kitsch didn't get his moment. Like that, feels. He didn't get
Right.
he didn't get to say, hey, look, we solved this. Listen, I'm gay. I'm going to be a great dad. We're going to co-parent, and we're not going to hate each other. You're going to find a guy. That moment never came. He just got killed and died.
But he
unhappy.
did at least get to like take out 6, trained
did.
assassins, which was
It was a
pretty
good
awesome.
scene. It was a good scene.
Yeah, but he should have seen Burris. Burris?
Burris, yes.
He should have seen Burris. But how did Burris know to just wait there?
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, he just happened to be
So
there.
that's
does
the
this
only
mean-
door out of the
Does this mean
catacombs
that-
of Los Angeles.
Does this mean
Yeah.
that Burris was the guy who shot Ray
Oh.
with the bird mask?
Yeah, but why wouldn't he? I mean,
I don't know.
I think it seems likely, but
But then why
hasn't
would
been
Burris wear a
explained.
bird mask? Doesn't seem like that's not a Burris move.
Because we've gotten to know Burris so well over the course of
Burris
this
would never
episode.
do something like
That's
that.
so not Burris.
in those 2 scenes.
So
yeah.
not Burris. It's so stupid. And then lastly, so he's in there, right? Burris is waiting for him. That doesn't make. I mean, literally, there got to be 1,000 ways out of there, but
Right.
Burris is right there waiting for him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to say actually, but we may have covered it.
Any insight on why Splendor in the Grass?
Oh, so that one, the first time we had the TCM reference, I don't know. I was thinking about it. I don't know. I mean, it's Natalie Wood with the baby,
Yeah.
and so she's, it's being watched by
Pregnant
the
woman.
the pregnant woman about to have the kid. They're both beautiful. It's as far as I got. You thoughts on why?
No, I wasn't really.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen Splendor in the Grass, so it's on my list of things I need to get to.
It's
so
good.
I didn't
It's
know if
good.
there was some big connection there I was missing.
I mean, if there is, I missed it too. But then again, I was literally like fixing my hair and like being like, let's go, wrap this up. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta get in the house. Gotta move. I'm like, oh, look, Splendor in the Grass. Cool. Okay. All right. So, okay. Well, I mean, look, I'm looking forward to it. And I guess just because when you watch 7/8 of something, you
Yes,
don't
you gotta see how
just
this thing
leave for the
ends.
last 12.5%. Okay. So we'll be back next week.
And Robert says he's coming.
Oh, great. All
He's
right.
been in Italy. He's been traveling, but I think we've got Robert back for the finale, so very excited about that.
And you know what? If John, I'm sure will be back too.
Sure.
We can have 5 chairs here. We can have 6 chairs here.
A crowded table.
We'll get this done. Have they made an announcement on season 3? Does such a thing? Do we know? I don't think so.
I don't know. They might have. They just announced a bunch of stuff at TCA, and I don't remember if that was one of them. But
Okay.
I'm sure it's on the internet.
Near as I can tell, no one likes the show right now. But I like watching it. All right,
I enjoyed these moments with you.
yes. Thanks, Michelle.